Chris Paul warned us about SGA, but nobody listened. Hey, Chris Paul, did you build a demon on us? Did y'all build the flopper? I'm joking, not a flopper. Chill on that, but let's get into the video. Chill.
Nobody's been able to guard this man one-on-one all year.
Shea is the hardest guard in the NBA.
He's a nice shooter, though.
Hardest guy to cover one-on-one in the NBA.
Steps back on the three.
Might get a little bit too much hate, though.
On the court.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at basketball.
During the 2019-20 season, Chris Paul used to invite a few of the younger Thunder players over to his place on off nights.
Chris Paul, I
They'd sit
hate
on the
you,
couch,
bro.
put a game on the big screen, and Paul would have another one playing on his iPad. 2 games at once, and he wasn't just watching, he was teaching. He'd pause the broadcast and break down a pick and roll, point out a defender's tendency, explain why a specific screen angle created a mismatch 3 passes later. He'd quiz the guys sitting next to him, make them think, make them see basketball the way he saw it. One of those guys on the couch was a 20.
Bro, Chris Paul gets too much hate. What do you mean? Bro, the fact that the Clippers, y'all got rid of this man? I'm not trying to be a hater, bro, but the fact that Chris Paul can break down the science to your younger players and actually develop them as that mentor, and y'all got rid of him? Nah, that's crazy.
21-year-old in his second NBA season. Quiet, long, unbelievably smooth for someone that young. He'd been traded to Oklahoma City a week before Paul arrived.
Paul George headed to the Clippers. The Thunder.
Word trade, by the way.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, a 20-year-old promising second-year
for trade, bro.
Part of the Paul George deal that was supposed to begin a decade-long rebuild. His name was Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and Chris Paul saw something in him that nobody else was ready to believe. 5 years later, Gilgeous-Alexander is the reigning NBA MVP, the reigning NBA champion, and is averaging 31.5 points a game while leading the Thunder to the best record in the Western Conference for the 2nd straight season. Chris Paul never won a championship in 20 years. His protege did it in his 6th. And the thing that makes this story different from every other mentorship narrative in basketball is that it almost never happened. In the summer of 2019, Oklahoma City blew everything up. They traded Paul George to the Clippers for Gilgeous-Alexander and a mountain of draft picks.
They traded for Paul George tonight, and they are sending to Oklahoma City
that was a crazy trade, though.
Collection of draft picks, 4 first-round picks, 4 unprotected future.
Hold on, bro. I swear to God, I thought that Paul George and Westbrook era was gonna do something, bro. Low key, bro. It had me a little bit upset. Cause Westbrook is my favorite player, bro. So when I saw Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, and Westbrook all on the same court, I thought we were gonna win the chip. But nah. And then they blew it up and got rid of these people. And then Westbrook left, bro. Nah, I had to be OKC, bro. I was an OKC fan, bro. No more. I had to be Westbrook fan. I had to be Westbrook fan, bro. I had to be, bro.
A protected future first-round pick, 2 pick swaps, and outstanding rookie point guard Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari.
Days later, they sent Russell Westbrook to Houston for Chris Paul and more picks. In the span of a week, the Thunder went from a playoff team to a teardown project. Paul was 34. He had every reason to be frustrated. He'd just been shipped to a rebuilding team in a small market with no path to contention. Nobody expected him to care. The assumption was that he'd ride out his contract and get traded to a contender by the deadline. Instead, he did the opposite. He showed up every day like it was the most important season of his career, and he chose to pour everything he knew into the kid who was supposed to be Oklahoma City's future. The on-court stuff was obvious. Paul taught Gilgeous-Alexander how to control a game at walking pace, how to use the mid-range as a weapon when everyone else was launching threes, how to manipulate pick and roll coverage with footwork instead of athleticism, how to draw fouls. The last one became a signature. Paul told Shea directly, "Bro, you're 6'6". If I can do this at 6'1", you should be doing it. What are you doing here?" But the real education happened off the court. Gilgeous-Alexander has said it multiple times. Chris Paul was the first person he'd ever been around who treated the lifestyle of being an NBA player like a discipline. How to eat, how to lift during the season, not just the summer, how to get treatment.
Clippers, and y'all got rid of that?
With purpose instead of just watching it. One morning on an off day during an early road trip, Paul called him. "Let's go lift." Shea was confused. He thought lifting was a summer activity. Paul explained in detail why in-season lifting was essential for staying healthy, which muscles to target, and why. They became regular lifting partners after that. Paul also brought Lu Dort, the undrafted rookie, an iPad so he could study film properly, because Dort was on a 2-way.
So Chris Paul was out here just giving OKC the secret to building a good team.
A contract.
Like y'all got rid of.
That's who Chris Paul was in Oklahoma City. Not a bitter veteran running out the clock, a teacher who happened to still be one of the best point guards alive.
Yeah.
That Thunder team was supposed to be the worst in the league. They finished 44-28, made the playoffs, took the Rockets to 7 games in the first round before James Harden blocked Dort's potential series winning shot.
I remember that.
At the buzzer.
Dort.
That was a pretty play.
Blocked by Harden. Dort
That
got
play?
it back.
That play right there was beautiful by Jay Harden. That's probably one of the best, like, might be one of the best defensive sequence from Jay Harden. Honestly, like, look at this.
Dort
Like-
for 3. Blocked by Harden. Dort got it back.
Like, bro was actually trying on defense. Jay Harden himself was trying on defense. That's how you know it's serious. When you see Jay Harden doing this.
Dort for 3. Blocked by Harden. Dort got it back. Tried to throw it off Harden and missed him.
Paul finished 7th in MVP voting at 34 years
7th,
old.
really?
But even then, the leading scorer on that team wasn't Paul. It was Gilgeous
Yeah.
Alexander. 19 points a game in his second year. A massive jump from his rookie season in LA. And
I mean,
everyone
average.
around the organization could see it. The kid was different. Then Paul was traded to Phoenix, and Gilgeous Alexander was on his own.
But then Chris Paul got traded to Phoenix. And what did he do with Phoenix? What did he do with Phoenix? He brought them to the number 1 seed, bro.
The next 2 seasons, the Thunder tanked deliberately. OKC was stockpiling picks and developing young talent, and Shea was the centerpiece of it all. He averaged 23.7 points in his 3rd year,
Okay.
and 24.5 in his 4th.
Okay.
His efficiency climbed every season. His mid-range game became automatic. His free throw rate exploded just like
All we
Paul
know.
taught him.
All we
But
know.
the wins weren't there. The Thunder were losing on purpose.
Did he
And
keep
for a
his-
player as competitive as Gilgeous Alexander, that's a test of patience that breaks most people. Stars on losing teams get frustrated. They request trades, they disengage. Shea never did. He just
KD.
kept getting better, kept trusting the process that Sam Presti was building, kept coming to work the way Paul taught him to. And then everything turned. In 2023-24, the Thunder went from lottery team to the number 1 seed in the West. Gilgeous Alexander averaged over 30 points a game and finished
He was
second in
he was
MVP
nasty.
voting. The roster Presti had built around him, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort, the pieces all started fitting together at once. They lost in the second round to Dallas. It stung.
I mean, it's Luka, bro. It's Luka. It's Luka.
But the foundation was undeniable. The following year, 2024 to
Scary to
25,
reckon
they
with,
came
bro.
back even
Scary
better.
as shit, bro.
Gilgeous Alexander won the MVP.
Last night, the Thunder's
Good shit for him.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
You know, my friend would say differently because he's a Jokic fan. He would glaze the shit out of Jokic, bro. So he would say a little bit different. But hey, bro got his MVP.
Was named the Kia NBA Most Valuable Player.
That's
Oklahoma City rolled through the Western Conference, beat Minnesota in the conference finals, and then in the NBA finals against Indiana, they finished the job.
they
The
did.
Oklahoma City Thunder won their first championship.
To be fair, in my opinion, that's all if right. But like Halliburton, bro. If bro did not get injured, bro, would that ring be theirs? We don't know. We can't really say. But I do full say I will definitely be more of a competitive game. That's for sure. Bro should never get back. It's like KD coming back from the Raptors series, bro. Why did he come back? They wanted to win a chip, bro. Simple as that. But you see where he's at now. No, the
In
court.
franchise history.
The Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in
That should have been
Oklahoma
one.
City.
And when Gilgeous
Shea deserved
Alexander
it.
was given his MVP trophy during that playoff run, he looked into the crowd and saw a familiar face sitting next to his wife.
Hey.
It was Chris Paul. He'd flown in for the ceremony
go.
without telling anyone. Caught me off guard, Shea said afterwards, smiling. I had to double take, but then I seen it was Chris. I was like, all right, cool.
It was amazing. Caught me off guard. I had to like double take.
Shout out to Chris
It was
Paul,
just
man.
like,
Oh my God, bro. Don't be
I was
mentor.
tight, but then I seen it was Chris. I was like, all right, cool.
Paul was there for the finals too, watching from courtside. 20 years in the league and he never won a ring himself, but there he was watching the kid he mentored hold the trophy he never could. That's part of the
a
story
good
that
feeling.
people
That's a
don't
good
sit
feeling right
with
there.
long enough. Chris Paul is one of the greatest point guards in basketball history, 12-time All-Star, Hall of Famer, and his one season in Oklahoma City, the one that looked like a footnote at that time, ended up being the most important thing he ever did for the game.
Honest.
This season, the Thunder are the best.
He did it for he created a villain. That's what he did. He created a villain because you see how everybody on NBA be hating on him, bro. Besides OKC fan, bro.
team in
He
basketball.
created feeling, bro.
Gilgeous-Alexander is averaging 31.5 points and nearly 7 assists. He's scored 30 or more in 41 games. The
How,
defending
though?
champions are the #1 seed in the West, and there is no sign of slowing down. Chris Paul retired earlier this year.
Wemby,
The
baby.
Clippers traded him to Toronto in February, and the Raptors waived him. It wasn't the
Really?
ending a Hall of Famer deserved. No farewell tour, no last game at home, just a press release and a quiet
that
exit.
sucks.
During All-Star Weekend, Gilgeous-Alexander was asked about it. He said he wished Paul had gotten his flowers, and then he said something that should be remembered for a long time. Chris was special for my career. He was the first person that I was around to really take care of their body, show me the importance of the weight room. His life
I
was
say,
really like
Clippers,
a
bro,
regimen,
y'all dumb.
and it allowed him to
Y'all
be
dumb.
successful on the court. Shea
I did not
didn't just
kick my
take
boy
it
out like that, bro.
all
On God,
time
bro.
and become a great individual player. He became the kind of leader who passed it forward. The Thunder's entire culture runs on the foundation Paul built in that single season. The film study, the lifting, the obsessive attention to detail, it seeped into everything. Shea's father, Vaughn Alexander, summed it up at the finals last summer. He
What'd he
said
say?
Paul taught his son how to eat, how to sleep, how to read defenses, how to draw fouls, and then he said the thing that connects all of it. We learned that from Chris Paul, let's be real. One season,
bro.
that's all it was. 1 year sharing a locker room with a 34-year-old point guard who could have mailed it in and nobody would have blamed him. Instead, Paul chose to invest in a kid, on a team going nowhere.
See, if most older star players would see that and like, hey, maybe mentor the dude, right? Maybe help the dude, right? The young star coming in, not like your ego defeat you for having the young kid star rise up above you and help your team win.
In a city that
We
wasn't
need more Chris
his.
Pauls out here, bro.
That kid became the MVP, won a championship, built a dynasty, and every time he's asked about it, he points back to the same person. Chris Paul warned us about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Not just with words, not with a quote or a prediction, he warned us by giving him everything he had. And Shai turned that into everything
I'm
Paul...
sorry, I'm not listening, but say get out there is what Sun Tatsu 1 is about? Whatever. Anyway, but yeah, Chris Paul, bro, he's a nice player, bro. You can't deny it, bro. He's a good player. He might shoot a lot of free throw, he might get fake foul beats, but he's still good at the game at the end of the fucking day. And Chris Paul did his thing. He brought a rookie who had the gift to become an MVP, high caliber player, and guess what? 2-time MVP Shai Alexander right here in 2026. So shout out to Chris Paul on God. One of the best point guards to ever do it. So if y'all like the video and y'all want to see more content about anything, don't forget to like, comment, share, and I'm gonna check you on the next video. Peace.